Hi, thanks for watching our videos again. This is Art Video Productions. This is a channel dedicated for reviews and some tutorials. In this episode, we're going to be talking about microphones and the pickup patterns. Okay, so the two most common types of microphone that you will find is omnidirectional and unidirectional. So here I have a Sennheiser MD42. This is a omnidirectional. The word omni means more like all over the place, right? Technically speaking. So, and you also have the unidirectional microphones, which is this type of microphones. So to better illustrate this, the same exact way this LED bulb will shine, this type of bulb will shine the light all over, and this will only point the light, shine the light wherever you want to point it at. So this is what this microphone does and this microphone does. So talking about the omnidirectional microphones first. What you want to record with this is anything that you need to capture the overall ambience of the room. So this microphone will capture equally the voice, but as long as you keep a fair distance, you know, not too close from this mouth and the other mouth is like 10 feet away. So if there's like two people here in equal distance, this will capture them perfectly. But if you're recording on a street with a lot of cars passing by and everything, you're also going to capture all the external noise. So that's why these microphones here, they come handy, is because these microphones are very directional. So they only listen to what you're pointing at. It will be more present, of course, if you actually shorten the distance. Any microphone, the closer you are to the source, the better sound you're gonna get without having to increase the gain on your mixer or your camcorder if you have a DSLR with a box with the XLR adapters and everything. So with a omnidirectional microphone, let's say the distance is around here, right? As long as you don't move this, if you speak, start speaking to the front of the mic and you do this, at the same distance, don't change the distance, your voice will almost not change at all. The only thing that's going to happen here when you reach the back of the microphone, you still can hear you from here, but you're also going to be capturing the sound waves that leave my mouth, bounce back on the wall to here, and you're also capturing the reverberation of the room, if any. So for any mic, even omnidirectional, speak this way. This is called on-axis. Okay, so this is off-axis and then on-axis. Okay. Now with a unidirectional microphone, you can actually point exactly what you want to hear. The sound source is over there, you point it right there. If it is over here, you point it right here. So this particular microphone is a cardioid type. The cardioid microphones, they have a 120-degree pickup pattern, so they're very directional. So anything off axis like this, you won't pick up the voice right. So if you are singing with this mic or recording any instrument, you gotta make sure this thing is pointed right at you or right at the source. So with this microphone, if you speak like this, you're gonna sound great, especially if you're close like that. So the moment you start to do this, the audio is gonna drop a lot. And especially in the back here, you can hardly hear anything because what's gonna happen in the back here, the microphone is gonna cancel all the outside noises that you don't want. So anything you want to record with this microphone, you want to pick it up from here. Okay, this is 120 degrees, all right? So this is a great advantage if you are singing with these things on the stage. Where do you want to put the speaker or monitor so you can hear what you're singing, the audio, right? You're going to put it on the back because this is the this is the deaf area of the microphone, cardioid microphone. So you want to put the speaker or monitor right here. These are super-cardioid and hyper-cardioid microphones. They also come with the little logo thing on the microphone and also in the box. So every time that you are in the studio that's not yours, you don't know what mics you're dealing with, you just pay attention that the microphone here is gonna have that little symbol, hyper-cardioid or super-cardioid microphone, which the pickup pattern is about 100 degrees. It's a little bit narrower than a cardioid microphone. So supercardioid and hypercardioid is even narrower. The thing with the supercardioid or hypercardioid, the way it's designed is to pick up less sound from a narrower angle, but in the back here it's going to be actually sensitive. So you got to be careful, especially on live performances for singers. If you put a speaker or a monitor right behind a supercardioid or hypercardioid microphone, you're gonna have a nasty feedback because it can hear very well your speaker from the back. Is sensitive to the back of this thing here. So again, with the cardioid, you can put the microphone, the speaker or monitor right behind the microphone, okay? This is called the null point. Now the null point on this one, it's not on the back of the microphone, it's about 110 degrees this way. So with this microphone here, when you set up your speakers closer to the mic or your monitor, where do you want to put the speaker? Not on the back. It's 110 degrees that way, so either place on your right or on your left, okay, but not in the back. We're also going to be covering two types of microphones. We have a dynamic microphone and also condenser microphones. So dynamic microphones, they're nice in a way that they're not as sensitive. I mean, sensitive. They're not as sensitive to shock. If you accidentally drop the microphone, I hope you're not one of those cool guys that will drop the microphone to look cool for the girls. Don't do that, dude. That's just stupid, you know. But anyway, so if you drop this microphone on the ground from this height, like 3-4 feet high, most likely you're not gonna break the microphone. You're just gonna, you know, mess this up and just some scratches over here. And now the condenser microphones, especially the way they're shipped, you will notice that they even have a very nice padded bag. Some microphones such as this, I'm gonna get to this microphone later. This thing comes in a nice fancy wooden box with all kinds of cushion because these things are very delicate, they're very fragile. So if you drop this microphone, most likely you lost your microphone or some severe damage occurs here because inside here, these things work on phantom power, which means is a 48 volt current that this thing needs to operate. Otherwise you won't hear anything but tss, you know. So and some microphones, they require only 24 volts of phantom power, but most of them, they will require 48, which means you need to have this power. Your mixer needs to be able to provide phantom power. Your DSLR, you have to buy a box that goes under, so to provide phantom power. And also any camera with an XLR has phantom power in it. This microphone here, for example, not all of them come with this feature, but this one here features a 9-volt battery compartment here in case you don't have phantom power. You can actually install the battery here, close it back. Be careful with this part. Do not touch that. This is where you pay the big bucks for the microphone. If you ruin this, your microphone is done. And as for any other microphones, at the end of the gig, just to respect our microphones, especially condenser microphones. They come with a nice case because they don't like to be tossed around. Don't put this microphone like, you know, boom, on a box with a, you know, respect your microphone. It's gonna last you for a long time. For example, you know, they come in things like this, like fully padded, highly protective case. These things here sometimes at Best Buy, a regular dynamic microphone, right? They come with those hard to open packages, the one that you need the utility knife, right? Like again, they're not as sensitive to shock or sensitive at all. They can pretty much take a lot of abuse. This is a very interesting type of a condenser microphone. This looks like a pencil, so does this. So when you unpack a microphone at the manual, you will see a chart there. It has like a square thing with a 0 dB line in the middle, which is how the human hearing listens to hear sounds, right? So a perfect microphone will be the one that on a whole chart, the whole thing is like flat, right? 0, 0, 0, 0. That's a perfect microphone. So this microphone over here, the Sennheiser MD42, the chart comes like on the bass, on a low frequency, right? The line drops like this, which means this microphone is not capable of capturing any bass whatsoever. So it's designed for voice and you know, things that don't require low-end capture, right? Now the condenser microphones, they're a lot more sensitive, and especially on the bass side, they capture a lot of bass, especially when you speak the microphone really close like this, which is called the close proximity effect or the proximity effect, however. So the closer you are to the microphone, the more bassy your voice is going to be, especially on large diaphragm microphones, which is microphones like this, like the radio guys, right? So I'm gonna get you this in a second. So we also have shotgun microphones. These are unidirectional microphones on extreme. So these things are great for recording outdoors because they reject a lot of sound. So the bigger, I don't want to go any complicated here with the explaining how these things are made or whatever. I'm gonna go straight to the point, keep it simple. The only thing you need to know is that these are great for outdoors, not so great for indoors. I'm gonna explain why later. But for outdoors, the longer the microphone, the more rejection on the side they will have. And this type of shotgun here, I have a Rode NTG4 Plus. The sound that you can capture from a great distance, like 10 feet away, almost sounds like you're speaking on this mic this close. It's amazing.
The filter of Owaeon is now working! He shall come! Fear not this world!
Now for indoors, they pick up some nasty reflections from sound reflections from the wall. So for indoors, you have to use a small diaphragm condenser microphone. It works just like a shotgun microphone, but it's more suitable for indoors. So it's gonna capture the sound pretty nice. I have one of these right now. It's the same exact mic that I'm showing here. This is a small diaphragm condenser microphone designed for indoors, and you can see how it sounds like, you know. So how do you use these microphones over here? As you can see, each one, they're all condensers, right? Each one here has a particular use for it. So this microphone here almost looks like a pencil, right? So you can actually use this on a chart that this came with the manual. It doesn't capture a lot of bass, but it does capture beautifully high frequency. You can hook this up on a hi-hat, on a drum set, you know, violins and flutes and stuff like that. You know, this will capture beautifully without a lot of bass on it, you know, especially if you don't need to, or if you don't want to. For example, if you're recording a flute on that particular mic, you don't want a tuba or anything to get even close to the microphone, so you want to use this microphone. This microphone here, however, is bigger, but it captures more bass. On a chart that this thing came with, the bass, it shows like, and it captures like almost like all the bass that you want, and also the mid-range and a high frequency. So this is great for capturing you know, some instruments like acoustic guitars. Now this is a condenser large diaphragm microphone. This is one you want to use to capture a lot of detail, especially when you speak close to the mic like this, like the radio station guys speak, right? So when you speak like this, you're gonna have, your voice is gonna be almost unnaturally too full, too bassy. But if that's the effect that you're looking for, you need a large diaphragm microphone. So these are extremely sensitive microphones. If you speak very close to the microphone, you either need some kind of a pop-up filter, which comes in this shape, and also the circle shape to avoid P's and B's, right? And this one slides right in, has like a little rubber band, or you can combine the two, slide this in plus get the thing here. This can be mounted this way. This can also be mounted this way. These microphones also feature low cut to decrease that excessive bass if you don't want it to. It also has a pad sensitivity button here, so minus dBs, the microphone is gonna be minus 10 dBs less sensitive. So if you're doing a recording and the sound is still kind of too hot, you want less signal, you need to turn this pad on to minus 10 or minus dB, minus 20, whatever your microphone offers here. So next we're going to be talking about the 3-to-1 rule. It's simpler than you think, but a lot of people, they use one of the most common mistakes in using microphones, multiple microphones. Sometimes people use way too many microphones when just one microphone can do the job just fine. A lot of people think that the more mics that they have to cover, for example, a choir or whatever that is, it's gonna make the sound better. It's gonna do the opposite. You're gonna ruin your audio because you'll be dealing with phasing issues. Sometimes it is almost impossible to fix this in post. And when you are on location, it's hard to detect the phasing with the headphones or whatever. Unfortunately, only when you are at the computer, you're gonna see what is going on with this audio. So So the thing with the phasing, there's a rule to that, okay? Let's say that you're miking 3 backing vocals, 3 beautiful ladies on the stage singing, right? The 3-to-1 rule, if you place the first microphone at 1 foot from her mouth, the next microphone it has to be no closer than 3 times this distance. So 1 foot over here, the next microphone will have to be 3 feet away, okay? If you pull it back like 3 feet, the next microphone cannot be closer than 9 feet away. If you place it on an inch, you can actually put the microphone right next to it. Okay. So 2 things that can happen. If you put the microphones too close and they're not capturing the sound waves at the same time, you're gonna have that phasing effect. Another situation that if you mic 2 people, one with a lavalier, there's another person right next to you also wearing a lavalier, even if it is the same exact brand or and model, whatever. If the sound waves they don't arrive at the same time, when you hear this thing in post-production, the lavalier that got phased out, the bass frequency completely disappeared, and it's like if you look at a sine wave, it looks like this, right? Like that. So what happens is the sine wave that's it having a phase issue is going to be the opposite direction. So what happens is they're going to be canceling out. If the sine wave is this way and the other one is the opposite way, if you duplicate, for example, choose whatever track that you have on your editing timeline, and then you duplicate the track, pan it to the right and then to the left on the other track, invert the phase, and then you will hear nothing. It's amazing because their frequency, the sound wave is identical. So one is up, the other one is down like that. They're gonna cancel each other out. So phasing can be a very big problem in the recording. So if you can get away with one microphone, keep it simple. If you have an immense choir, you know, like I don't know, 100 people, okay, just keep in mind the 3-to-1 rule. Whatever distance to the source this microphone is, the next microphone has to be 3 times the distance. You know, like, I don't know, 10 feet away, the next microphone has to be 30 feet away, okay? Don't forget about that. You will not have, probably won't have any phasing issues. Another thing that I want to talk about is the inverse square law. Don't know how to explain this without going another 15 minutes here. You can actually search this on YouTube. The only thing that you need to know with the inverse square law, the same thing happens with lighting, sound, or whatever you want to apply it to, okay? For example, you probably noticed that the best way to capture a source of audio into any microphone, it can be your omnidirectional, unidirectional, dynamic condenser microphone, it doesn't matter, okay? The closer you are to the source, the better quality of audio you're gonna get, okay? For example, let's say that you have a 300-watt amplifier and you are singing into the microphone this way. If you back it up an inch or 2, it's gonna make a huge difference because I'm gonna lose you about 50%. If you do this, I'm gonna lose you 4 times more, okay? So if you have a 300-watt amplifier here and then you do that, I'm gonna need a 600-watt amplifier, and then I'm gonna need a 1200-watt, 1800-watt amplifier just to compensate. Not only that's bad, the sound guy will have to increase the gain of the mixer to capture, to keep up with the changes, right? Something that already sounds great right here. It's gonna take a lot of work for your amplifiers and the mixer to capture the same loudness, and your voice is also gonna sound thinner. And when the mixer guy, or the DJ, or you with your camcorder, you increase the volume, you're actually feeding more junk, outside junk into the microphone. So the inverse square law applies to this. If you want to isolate somebody completely like this, you can adjust your recording levels accordingly. But if you speak this close, you're gonna get the best sound. The reason why when you see a professional musician singing on stage, everybody's singing this close to the microphone, right? Why? Because when you are mixing on your studio, since the voice is so loud, the sound pressure is so loud, so you can actually keep the mixer gain all the way down to each specific channel. The microphone will hear almost nothing. It can be like a drum set banging the cymbals right here. If you speak this close to the microphone, the volume of the mixer is going to be so low. If you pull that back like that, again, when you have to raise the volume on the mixer, you're gonna start to hear all the sounds. Like you're interviewing somebody on the street, if you speak like this, right? You're gonna hear 95% only your voice. Once you do that, you're gonna hear the cars passing on the street, people screaming or whatever, all kinds of outside noise that you don't want. It's thus making the dialogue extremely difficult to understand. So for whatever that is you're recording, keep your mic close to the mouth. I've seen people get the microphone down here. I mean, funny thing is, did you ever give a microphone to a 3-year-old? They're gonna be speaking on the microphone correctly without you explaining anything. It's amazing. They're gonna be picking up the microphone 45 degrees and speaking this close to the mouth. You give it to an adult, they have to go to college to learn how to speak on a damn microphone. So it's amazing. Give it to a kid, they're gonna hold like this. Give it to an adult, they do this kind of stuff and, you know, hold it down here like that. Some bridesmaids, they hear the thing, they think the microphone is magical. It's gonna go around and pick up the sound this way. Keep your mic close to the mouth or to the instrument. The closer you are, the better sound and better isolation you're gonna get. So I hope this video has been helpful. And thank you very much once again. If you have any questions or comments, if you like this video, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up if you can. You know, I try to the best I can to release some new videos for you guys in any way I can help you guys. So this is what I'm doing, just try to help you guys out. Anyway, thanks for watching the video and have a great day.